Hey guys, welcome back to DIY guitar making. I am finally getting back to work on the Parlor Guitars. So that's kind of cool. It's been a good bit since I worked on them. I've been, nose to the grindstone on guitar number 106, and finally that is out the door, being shipped right now as we speak to David in California. Hopefully it is not falling off the truck or being otherwise mishandled by UPS employees. We shall see. But in the meantime, we are going to work on guitar number 86, the Parlor guitar, which is almost finished as well. It's almost ready for the finishing room. What we're going to be doing today is routing the saddle slot. And so I'll talk a little bit about first locating the saddle slot. And that requires understanding how to add compensation, essentially, to your scale length. So I have right here my fret template that I'm using for these Parlor guitars. And so it's a 24.5 inch scale length that you see down here. And so, first of all, to locate your saddle, we need to just measure out our scale length. And our scale length is the distance from the nut to the 12th fret times 2. That's pretty simple, right? That gives you your full scale length, and then we just need to add a tiny amount for what's called compensation. Now, compensation is compensating for the natural sharpening effect of playing the instrument. So when you press down the string to the fret wire, you are stretching that string, and that stretching adds tension. Added tension sharpens the pitch, okay? And we don't want that. So in order to compensate for that effect, we increase the length of the string by a very, very, very small amount, and that increased length has a flattening effect. This effect is very small, and it's even smaller on other string types. So we are dealing with steel strings in this world. And so we have the issue of, we have plain steel strings on the treble side and then wound steel strings on the bass side. And those windings actually have a significant effect on the elasticity of the material, which actually, in this case of the bass strings on an acoustic guitar, it gives us a greater sharpening effect and thus a greater need for compensation. Now, what I'm explaining all this for is to explain why the acoustic guitar saddle is slanted. Okay, it's slanted away from the bass so that we have a greater lengthening of string on the bass side. Again, because those windings are a pretty big deal as far as the elasticity of the material. On a classical guitar, it's just a straight saddle. So if you guys aren't familiar with this, you can look up an image of both those guitars right now. You'll see a straight saddle on the classical, slanted saddle on the acoustic, and now you know why. So, the other thing I want to say is, so once you've measured out your nominal scale length, so nominal means in name only, that's your scale length before compensation. Once you've measured that out, the 12th fret times 2, then you're just going to add, I'm going to give you a real easy kind of cheating way of doing this. You could just add 2.3 millimeters on the treble side and 4.9 millimeters on the bass side. This is not a perfect solution, but it is actually a very good average between all of the acoustic guitar, all of the compensation needed for any acoustic guitar scale length. Now, this isn't going to work on like a bass guitar or some other smaller instrument like a ukulele or mandolin or something, but within acoustic guitars, there's basically 25.5 inches on the larger end, like a dreadnought, and then what I'm doing right now with this Parlor guitar is kind of at the extreme other end, which is 24.5. That's basically the range of acoustic guitar scale lengths, and I've averaged out the needed compensation to find that it's 2.3 millimeters on the treble side and 4.9 millimeters on the bass side. Now, if you actually run the calculation out for yourself, and I'll give you resources to do that, you will find that it is just decimals of a, fractions of a millimeter of difference, very small fractions of a millimeter of difference between even the furthest extremes of those scale lengths. And you can do that, and actually, I actually do that when I design a new model size. I think it's good to do that, even just for the intellectual exercise of it. But I'm giving you guys a nice, easy go-to. You can use it if you want to. Use that 2.3 and 4.9. 2.3 on the treble, 4.9 on the bass. You can use that if you want, or you can just use it as an easy reference to check your work. Because if you do use the resources that I'm going to show you, and you get a number that's far larger or far smaller than 2.3 and 4.9, well, then you might want to go back to the drawing board and check it, right? If you've got 8 millimeters on the bass side, you did something wrong. Or if you have less than a millimeter on the treble side, you did something wrong. So anyway, that's just a helpful shorthand there. 2.3 and 4.9. I ran the math out for you guys and determined an average for you. So there you go. Oh, I didn't give you that resource. LuitalMottola.com. So that's RM Mottola's website. It is a fantastic website. If you guys have been following this channel for any amount of time, you've heard me mention it a lot. And really, if you get nothing else out of this video, I hope that just giving you that resource is incredibly valuable for you. LuitalMottola.com. I can never say that, so I'm going to put it on the screen here so you can read it. And if you follow that site, you'll find much more than just the compensation calculator. There's like neck angle calculators and all kinds of super just nitty-gritty, deep, luthery materials. It's a great resource. Okay, guys, and that's it for today. I'd love to start doing some passes on this bridge here, routing out that saddle, but I think the real value of this video is in, well, that compensation talk we had earlier, because, hey, I got to get going. I'm actually starting, leaving early for a long weekend here, and when I come back here, this will be waiting for me, and I will cut that saddle slot and make some more videos on what is going to happen next for guitar number 86 here. So happy to be working on the Parlor Guitars once again, and very excited to very soon get to apply a finish to this and then actually play it and experience what this Parlor size is all about. All right, guys, bye for now. If you learned something here, please give this video a like and subscribe so you can be notified when I release a new DIY guitar making video. And if you want to really learn more, take one of my structured online courses at ericschaferguitars.com or register for a hands-on guitar building workshop here with me in Burnville, Pennsylvania.